Ah, martial arts, one of my favorite topics. Now, for some weird reason, the world mentally links discipline to martial arts. Why? I mean, how does that work? Today, I'm going to explain why that is and how I instill discipline in my students. We can use this as sort of a case study about discipline. Now, I use the same exact formula that I talked about in previous videos. Remember, I talked about values, purpose, priorities, and because I mainly work with kids, consequences. Now, I know it seems like there's a martial arts school on every corner, and each one does things different. I'm just going to explain what I did in my martial arts school that I owned for 34 years. The one where I worked with thousands and thousands of kids. Welcome to Foundations of Character. I'm Scott Wilkinson, and this is my channel. Now, let's start with defining martial arts. Martial arts literally means military arts. And what does that mean? Military art is the creative and conceptual application of skill, knowledge, and judgment by military commanders to achieve strategic goals. I like to sum it up by saying the study of combat. That makes it way easier. And the military, when there's new recruits, they all dress the same, they get the same haircut, they move the same, everything's the same. They don't care what color you are and don't care about your personality. They don't care where you come from or your tough childhood. Everyone is the same. Now, in my martial arts school, I organized it with that same mindset. We all wore white uniforms and a belt. Again, I know different schools do different things, but for my school, I kept it traditional. I didn't allow the uniform to change colors until a student achieved a certain belt rank. And even when I did allow a color change in the uniform, it was only from white uniform to a black one. So I just kept it traditional. In the military, they have a system of rank, which is a step-by-step progression of how to move up. And when you move up, more leadership opportunities and more responsibility is what you get. And my martial arts school had a very similar system. The military teaches recruits how to do push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks, and other calisthenics, but I did that as well. The main repetitive warm-up at my school was running, jumping jacks, push-ups, sit-ups. We did that almost every single class. You can already see the similarities, right? Those examples are foundational similarities between martial arts and the military because they're both military arts, study of combat. Now, in my earlier videos, I defined discipline as a way of doing something, which is interesting because the word do at the end of Taekwondo and Karate Do also means the way. Like Taekwondo means the way of the foot and the hand, and Karate Do means the way of the empty hand. Now let me explain the Scott Wilkinson way of teaching martial arts. Let's start with my values and the purpose behind those values. For Tom, I'm just going to give you the top 3 values I decided on for my students. They were excellence, behavioral empowerment, and confidence. The first value was excellence. I taught excellence as the practice of making no mistakes. Let me explain. If you know what to do and you know how to do it, but then you just don't do it, that is not excellent and typically isn't rewarded in any way in any part of life. People that know what to do and how to do it, but just don't do it, they're called average. Most people operate like that. People know what to do, but choose to do the lowest level of their capabilities. So I wanted my students to learn to do what they know to do. And then I would make absolutely sure they know what to do. You see how that works together? The second thing was, second value was behavioral empowerment. This could be broken down into effort, the order of things, respect, focus, and self-control. I took it a step further though. I wanted my students to want to behave. Not because I told them to, or because a parent or teacher or coach told them to, but because it's just who they are. I want them to know that they are in control of every aspect of themselves. And if you're in control of yourself, you're responsible for yourself. The third thing was, the third main value that I focused on was confidence. This value was geared toward my students trying things they had never done before, like a belt test, a tournament, a fancy jump kick, a board break, some weird board break that I dreamed up, or helping another student learn something. Black belt actually means no fear of the dark, and the dark represents the unknown. So another way to say it would be, I don't know what's going to happen next, but I know I can handle it. That is confidence. Now that I've defined my martial arts values and purpose, you can see what my focus is. It's to use martial arts as a tool to teach traits that will increase the likelihood that my students will be successful at whatever they choose. So, what are the action steps necessary to pull that off? You know, the priorities. The priorities are the action steps. The actions that I took, EDD, which means every damn day, to move closer to those values. Well, that's the next part. I divided my overall curriculum into protocols and techniques. Protocols, which are mental control awareness procedures, or MCAP. I just made that up for short. And number two, techniques, which are physical control awareness procedures, PCAP. So both are basically controlling yourself and being aware of the procedures. That's my job, is to show you all of the procedures. So let me list the mental protocols for my school, and I'm going to do it in the order a student learns it. They are the correct way to put on your uniform and belt, saying yes sir and no sir, entering and exiting the workout floor, lining up for class and ending the class, earning stripes, our system of rank and how to earn belts, belt test etiquette, tournament etiquette, and helping other students. Now, hopefully you can see how every detail would be explained and addressed using those protocols. The student knows what to do and how to do it in order to have a great experience in my class. If they don't follow the protocols, there's a consequence. It could be push-ups. It could be a stripe being removed off their belt. It could be the loss of the privilege or possibility of earning a stripe, or it could be a simple reminder. The consequence in my school actually depended on the personality of each child and the severity of the breach or the rule that they broke. Most of the time, they just needed a reminder. I just enjoyed giving them push-ups and stuff like that. So now I'll list the physical protocols, which are the basis of all technique. They are the 3 positions of hand techniques, the 4 positions of a kick, the pivot, the stances, the patterns, kick combos, self-defense, sparring, board breaking. I think that's it. The idea with physical protocols is to have enough body awareness and control of the body in order to perform each technique as it was taught. I would tell my students, make your body do what I tell it to do so that one day it will do what you tell it to do. A student's performance of the techniques was directly tied to earning stripes. Stripes were directly tied to earning a higher belt, which was eventually tied to earning the black belt. So that was the progression of rank and a crystal clear step-by-step process to earn it. Now it takes anywhere from 2.5 to 4 years in order to earn a black belt. So this discipline is developed over an extended period of time. Another huge benefit to this system is that I established a history of success in my students. They earned stripes, they earned belts, they eventually earned the black belt. But how did I get them to want to? How did I get them to want to follow the rules and procedures? Well, for every belt in my school, there were 3 stripes that students had to earn. I made one of the stripes fairly easy to earn which released some of the dopamine that I talked about earlier in some of the videos. Then I had a medium effort stripe that was harder to get but felt better to earn. And then I had an almost impossible stripe to earn. They normally got that one right before testing. They really had to work hard for the stripe, but after they earned it, they not only got past a hard level and got a big dopamine hit, they knew they were approved to participate in the next belt test, so they got double dopamine. Boom. Big fan of dopamine. Now again, this process was repeated over and over again with every single belt over the 2 to 4 years it takes to earn a black belt. And to keep it from being boring, there were natural obstacles in my school that students have to work around. For instance, I just wanted my white belts through senior yellow belts, which is the first 6 months of training, to learn and get comfortable with the whole martial arts thing. I didn't do a lot of punishment in the beginning. In the next phase, which was junior green belt to senior blue belt, I added sparring into the mix. Sparring is safety fighting. Now some kids love it, most of the kids hate it. And the next phase after that was junior red to senior brown, and I added in board breaking and punching to the head. It was like right when the students got used to something and were just starting to feel good about it, I would change it. And then I would help them through the change. But they had to adapt constantly to what I did. And that's how I got students to want to. Everything I built in my martial arts school can be built in your family. The same structure, the same values, the same process, the same psychology. Discipline works everywhere. Now I'll tell you a quick story about discipline and excellence. I had a second-degree black belt one time, and he started with me in a daycare, so he was like 4 or 5. He was a second-degree black belt, and he was in high school, and he walked into school one day. He said, "Mr. Wilkinson, I don't want to make a big deal about it or anything, but I'm salutatorian of the high school." Now, what he was expecting me to say was, "Good job, I'm proud of you." But what I said was, "Isn't salutatorian second place? Did I teach you to come in second place? Do you know who the valedictorian is?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Are you friends with the valedictorian?" And he said, "Yes." I said, "Then it's your job as an excellent friend to try and take the top spot." He started giggling because he was like, "You're right, you not second place. So what do you think will happen if you try to earn the top spot? Will your friend let that go, or will they work harder?" And he goes, "Work harder." And I said, "If you truly care about your friend, you will push," it was a girl, "you will push her to be the best version of herself, and it doesn't matter who actually gets the top spot in the end. Both of y'all get to practice excellence, and both of y'all will increase capabilities." A few weeks later, my student came in and said, "Mr. Wilkinson, I'm valedictorian." Now, I hope that using my martial arts school as a case study has shown you how establishing discipline works. I feel like I did give you a clear view on how values, purpose, priorities, and consequences make up the ingredients of discipline. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Like this video and share it with everyone that could benefit from it. And if this helped you understand how discipline is formed and not demanded, hit that subscribe button. It tells YouTube that this content matters, and it helps me reach more parents and more kids. So until next time, I am Scott Wilkinson, and this is Foundations of Character.